Yo, what's cracking everyone? Ericship 111 here, and we are back with more Forza Horizon 5 updates. Of course, in my previous video, if you guys have watched it, we looked at many new features and things that were revealed from both Forza Monthly and also Playground Games' latest Let's Go episode livestream. However, what I specifically didn't cover in my previous video was the multiplayer aspect, as there were so many new key elements and behind the scenes things that were revealed. So in today's video, we will be looking at 7 new features that were just announced, including a possible secret revealed that Playground Games forgot to hide. Again, if you do enjoy my Forza Horizon 5 videos, please do smash the thumbs up button, as it really does help me out. And also, if you would like to stay up to date with everything Forza Horizon 5 related, please do consider subscribing in the end. So without further ado, let's begin with number 1, Horizon Arcade. So what is it? Well, it is a collection of mini games where you as a team have to collectively work together to complete these objectives in a certain period of time in order to win. So in the first piece of new gameplay here, which by the way, a massive shout out to Playground Games for providing me with all of the raw footage you see in today's video, this is a new mini game known as Pinata Pop, which of course was teased at E3 already. And the objective here is pretty simple: smash as many pinatas as you can, and just be careful not to smash the red cactus looking ones, as they are the evil pinatas and will ghost your car, rendering you useless for a short period of time. The second Horizon Arcade mode is Bullseye. This one looks pretty simple. All you have to do is drive up these ramps and make sure your car goes through the floating targets. It is accuracy based, so the closer you hit the center, the more points you will score for the entire team. However, make sure that you are in a relatively decent powered vehicle, as we can see in this particular gameplay here, some jumps were just too far for the Porsche Flying Lizard. And the final Horizon Arcade minigame that was showcased was an objective-based one. It's basically a series of tasks that you all need to complete. However, you need to be very quick, as each objective only gives a small amount of time before moving on to the next. And just seeing the gameplay for this one, you can definitely see it is a little more chaotic than the previous minigames. So those were the Horizon Arcades that were revealed. Of course, I have a few questions in regards to Horizon Arcade. For example, how many different mini games will there be available? Are those ramps we saw on the Bullseye game mode permanent to the map, or specifically spawned in? To a few more questions which I will save for another video, but overall it does look fun. And of course, if you have ever participated in a Forzathon live event back in Horizon 4, you can certainly see some similarities. And like Forzathon Live, once you successfully complete a Horizon Arcade challenge, you will receive Forzathon points, which you can use to purchase something from the Forzathon shop. Number 2, Horizon Link. So as most of us know by now, Horizon Chat has now been replaced by Horizon Link, and I will say from what was presented, it seems to be more useful than the chat function that was in Horizon 4. You see, in Horizon 4, you had 12 different phrases you could have in your chat wheel: 4 for free roam, 4 in a race, and 4 during a Playground Games event. Now, as fun as it was to use in the beginning, there wasn't much substance to it after a while, as the options were static. And if you ever wanted to change any of your phrases, you had to go into the options menu and so forth. It just seemed pretty tedious for something that wasn't that useful, if I'm very honest. However, Horizon Link seems to have improved upon that. It's still essentially a chat function at the end of the day, but it can be used to start, for example, a Horizon tour with a click of a button. But more importantly, your phrases change depending on your game mode and also at which stage of the race you are in too. Not only that, in a place where you are close to a barn find and you can't seem to locate it, your Forza Link chat would dynamically change to an option asking for help to find the barn find. Also, if you have paid very close attention to the Horizon Link, there are 3 outline colors: green, yellow, and orange, and sometimes a yellow icon will pop up, in which I suspect that is when a dynamic chat has replaced one of your 4 current phrases. It's also location based too, and also can prompt players nearby to complete festival playlist events together. so it's much more intuitive. Now I know I've probably missed out on a couple of things in regards to this feature, so if there are anything that you guys have noticed or wanted to add in, feel free to do so down in the comment section below and help us all out. Number 3, Horizon Open. So this is where the real multiplayer action is. Here we have all of our familiar online activities that we all know and love split into 4 categories. First we have open racing, which of course consists of road racing, dirt racing, cross country and street racing. Then we have open drifting, which is very similar to Horizon Drift Adventure in Horizon 4, but if you look closely it says mixed surfaces too, which is very interesting. Then of course we do have playground games, and finally the Eliminator. All available at launch, and a couple of things to note down with Horizon Open: ranked matchmaking will not be returning for Horizon 5, as Playground Games is aiming for the online multiplayer aspect to be more accessible and fun, which to me is not a huge problem, especially in team-based games. Now Playground Games have made adjustments that should your teammates drag you down in a race, you are now not as heavily affected. However, still heavily rewards winning, and what I suspect, and I have mentioned this as a suggestion a couple of years back, that if you still want team races to be a thing in a Horizon game, the prizes you receive are individual based to avoid any punishment for having trash teammates, but this still remains to be explored further. Now game modes like Infected, King, Capture the Flag, and all the other Playground Games event, they're not all team based now. There are also solo events too, which is nice. And of course lastly, and that will segue into number 4, the Eliminator. So the Eliminator was first introduced in Horizon 4 back in late 2019, and according to Playground Games, this was the most popular multiplayer game mode within the community. But as it turns out, and like many features in the Horizon series, the Eliminator was first introduced in Horizon 4 as a test meal to perfect and include as a feature in Horizon 5 at launch. Now Playground Games did admit that the map for Horizon 4 wasn't built specifically to cater for the Eliminator, however Forza Horizon 5 certainly was. So the rules for the Eliminator in Horizon 5 hasn't changed, but what we do see is of course the new selection of vehicles, and also some new places that were revealed. So the initial car for Horizon 5's Eliminator is now the Volkswagen Beetle instead of the Mini Cooper, as the Beetle is a vehicle heavily embedded into the Mexican car culture. But honestly, if you ask me, you know what would have been a better choice? The Nissan Tsuru. No, but on a serious note, we do get to see a bunch of new spots, including our first glimpses of the tunnels in Guanajuato, and also the second airstrip, which is located on the bottom left side of the map. Number 5, what was being blurred out? Okay, sticking with the Eliminator gameplay footage that Playground Games showcased, who else noticed some words being blurred out in areas where it looks as if the car names should appear? This occurred a few times throughout the reveal, which should be a huge indication to anybody that the current day 1 car list for Horizon 5 is not yet complete. I know it already states that on their car list website, but some people are still panicking over it. But rest assured, more cars will be announced as we get closer to the launch for Horizon 5, including a huge manufacturer that looks to be accidentally revealed, and that was Bentley. In this particular clip here, we can see that the Bentley BENTAYGA as one of the Eliminator vehicles, and I'm not sure if Playground Games just forgot to blur it out or possibly left intentionally for us to discover. I don't know, but if you have watched my previous video along with this now, the Hoonigan Mazda RX-7 and now of course the Bentley BENTAYGA looks to be included in Horizon 5, and this is regardless if Playground Games was playing this on the developer's build. That is irrelevant at this point now, being just over 40 odd days before the game actually releases. Number 6, Kudos. So in Horizon 5, Playground Games have introduced Kudos as a new form of social currency within the game. Kudos can be earned by doing nice things for other players within the Horizon world, for example, helping a lost player find a hidden barnyard, or gifting vehicles, which I alluded to in my previous videos, to even not ramming somebody in a multiplayer race. And to earn these Kudos points, a player must thank you after an event or once something has been completed or whatever it could be, and if that person says thank you to you, then you will receive some Kudos. I don't know if the amount of Kudos vary depending on what the activity or thank you may be, but these points are shown in your storefront, so I guess the less amount of Kudos you have, it shows that you either love doing things completely all on your own, or you love to make everyone's life a misery in a multiplayer race. But with so much social aspect being integrated into Horizon 5, I think it'll be a wise thing to get those Kudos points up. And lastly, number 7, in depth about the second racetrack. So in Horizon 5 there are 2 racetracks. The first one is of course located on the main Horizon Festival and is mainly asphalt based, while the second one is completely off-road, known as the Baja Circuit. So the reason why Playground Games added not 1 but 2 racing tracks was because back in Horizon 4 when they released the LEGO expansion pack, they decided to use that as a platform as a tester to see if anybody would actually use the racetrack in that expansion, and it turns out many people did. So Playground Games decided to double down and create one on tarmac and the other on dirt. So focusing on the Baja Circuit, this is a fictional layout heavily inspired by many off-road Pro 2 truck circuits within the region. The overall circuit consists of multiple different layouts which range from flat oval tracks to figure 8s, and is also a Playground Games arena too. Now although inspirations were taken from this off-road Pro 2 truck series, the approach in design with Horizon 5 circuit is not as difficult as some of their real-life counterparts in order to cater for a much more fun and accessible experience. But from what I can see with the gameplay that was shown, I can still see some certain corners that are very challenging. But overall, this is a nice addition to have. And what else would you like Playground Games to showcase in the next Let's Go livestream? I believe there's only a handful of them left before the game actually launches. Anyways, if you guys did enjoy this video, please make sure to smash the thumbs up button as it really helps me out. And once again, if you guys would like to stay up to date with everything Horizon 5 and some possible early gameplay, make sure to click the subscribe button with notifications turned on. That way you won't ever miss out on another video that goes live, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Peace.